I've been watching this Tesla affordability story for so long, I think we're all a little tired of getting our hopes up. So when Tesla opened up a used car lot last week and called it affordability, I had the same reaction a lot of you probably did. Wait, is this finally it? Here's what happened. August 14th, Tesla launches something called the Certified Pre-Owned Program. Used Model 3 for around $20,000. Used Model Y or Model S around $25,000. And a lot of us jumped on that headline the same day, myself included, for about 5 minutes, thinking Model 2 had quietly snuck in the back door wearing a used car sticker.
It didn't. And honestly, that's not on any of us.
Tesla's been dangling a cheap car since 2020, so at this point, being a little suspicious of every new number with a dollar sign on it is just self-defense. So let's sort this out together. There are two completely different problems buried in that same headline. Getting a Tesla you already know into more garages for less money, that's problem one, and the CPO program actually handles that just fine. Building a brand new car that costs less to make from day one, that's problem two. And that's the one that's been sitting untouched for 6 years while we all waited. Is selling cheaper used Teslas the same as building a cheaper new one? Let's start with the math nobody's doing out loud. A used Model 3 at $20,000 sounds like Tesla just solved affordability. It didn't. That car has already depreciated. Someone already paid full price for it 3, 4, 5 years ago. Tesla isn't making less money building it today because it isn't building it today. It's reselling inventory that already generated its first sale. That's an important distinction if you're trying to figure out where the real Model 2 story stands. The CPO program is a distribution move. It gets more people into a Tesla badge for less upfront cash. Good for Tesla's addressable market, good for used car margins, genuinely useful if you're shopping under $25,000 right now. But it does nothing to lower the cost of producing a brand new vehicle from the factory floor. So what has Tesla actually done on the new car side? The closest thing so far is the standard trim of the Model 3 and Model Y, launched late in 2025. Model 3 standard starts around $36,990. Model Y standard around $39,990. Cheaper than before, sure. Still nowhere near the $25,000 to $30,000 range that would actually count as a mass-market Tesla. And here's the part that matters for the title of this video. Wall Street's own analysts, the ones who visited Giga Texas and talked to Tesla's supply chain directly, have been saying the same thing since early this year. Model 2 volume production isn't a 2025 story. It isn't really even a 2026 story. Multiple reports point to 2027 as the year Tesla can realistically scale a genuinely new, genuinely cheaper vehicle. Not because Tesla is stalling, because building a car from a clean sheet that hits a lower cost floor takes years, not a press release. So when we say 2027 in the title, that's not us being cautious. That's the actual consensus. The CPO program tells you Tesla knows affordability is the pressure point right now, this month. Model 2 has to answer a much harder question. Can Tesla build a car that's cheap enough to sell at $25,000 to $30,000 straight off the line and still make money on it? Those are two different timelines, two different teams, two different problems. Only one of them has actually shipped. What gets cut, what gets kept. Which brings us to the second shift, because cheap doesn't just mean cheaper parts. It means Tesla deciding item by item what a Model 2 buyer actually needs versus what Model 3 and Model Y buyers were paying for out of habit. We already have a preview of how Tesla thinks about this. Mike?
Yes, David. Look at what got cut for the standard trim. Manually adjusted seats and mirrors instead of powered ones. Textile upholstery instead of leather. Fewer speakers. Smaller conveniences that add up to real manufacturing savings without touching the parts of the car that actually define the Tesla experience.
What do we mean by parts that define the experience? That's the whole strategy in one sentence.
Tesla isn't going to cut the software. It isn't going to cut supercharger network access. It isn't going to cut the path to full self-driving as a paid upgrade, because that's recurring revenue and brand differentiation that no competitor can copy overnight. Those are the pieces that keep a cheap Tesla still feeling like a Tesla instead of just a cheap car with a Tesla badge. What's more likely on the chopping block for Model 2, based on the standard trim playbook, is interior materials, some driver comfort features, maybe a smaller display, less sound deadening, that category of cost. The stuff that's expensive to manufacture but doesn't touch the reasons people actually choose Tesla over a gas car or another EV brand. There's also that RoboVan patent that showed up this month, and it's worth connecting the dots. It's not a Model 2 story directly, but it tells you Tesla's cost logic is company-wide, not just one vehicle's problem. Tesla secured a design patent for the RoboVan on August 4th. The pitch there is travel cost between 5 and 10 cents per mile per passenger. That's a completely different vehicle category, but the underlying instinct is identical to what we're describing for Model 2. Strip a product down to the components that actually move the cost per use number, and don't apologize for what's missing. So the real story of 3 things that make it so cheap isn't just about Model 2's bill of materials. It's Tesla applying a company-wide discipline. Keep what creates long-term value, software, charging network, autonomy upside. Cut what only exists because it always existed. If Model 2 follows the pattern we're already seeing in the standard trims and in how Tesla is thinking about the RoboVan, that's your blueprint.
All right, quick game before David gets into the last part. I'm going to name a feature, you decide in the comments, kept or cut for a $25,000 Model 2. Round 1, heated seats. Round 2, supercharger access. Round 3, power adjustable mirrors. Drop your 3 answers as kept or cut. And David, you can grade everyone at the end of next week's video.
Fair warning, if you say cut on supercharger access, we need to talk.
Back to you.
Why Tesla doesn't get to set its own timeline anymore. Here's the part that changes the whole conversation. This isn't happening in a vacuum where Tesla gets to launch Model 2 whenever the engineering is ready. There's a global price war happening right now, and the data from just this month makes that hard to ignore.
China's auto exports crossed 1 million vehicles for the second straight month in July, according to CAM. New energy vehicle exports specifically were up 145% year-over-year, hitting 553,000 units, now more than half of all Chinese vehicle exports. That's not a slow trend. That's an acceleration.
And Tesla is actually part of that story too, not just the competition. This is the detail most coverage skips. Back on Mike.
Tesla was the fastest growing exporter out of China in that same data set, up 130% year-over-year to 295,000 units. So Tesla isn't purely on defense here. It's using its own China manufacturing base to compete on the same export math that BYD, Chery, and the rest are running. That's a genuinely positive data point buried inside a competitive threat headline.
Now what about Ford, since people keep bringing up that $25,000 SUV? Worth mentioning, worth being precise about. Ford showed dealers early mock-ups of a $25,000 crossover this month, but it's gas and hybrid, not electric. And it's not expected until 2029. So it's not a direct Model 2 competitor in the EV space. What it does show is that affordability has become the entire industry's problem. Not just an EV thing, not just a Tesla thing. Everyone from Detroit to Shenzhen is racing toward the same price floor from different directions. So the real question for Model 2 isn't, can Tesla build a $25,000 car? Every serious analyst already assumes the engineering is possible by 2027. The real question is whether Tesla can hit that price point and still protect the margin structure that's funding its AI and robotics bets. At the exact moment Chinese exports are compounding at triple-digit growth rates, and the entire industry is sliding toward sub-$30,000 entry points. Maybe the real headline shouldn't be, will Tesla hit $25,000? It should be, does Tesla need to go even lower than that to stay ahead? That question lines up with something concrete.
Tesla just posted its best ever second quarter, 480,126 vehicles delivered, up 25% year over year, beating Wall Street's own forecast. That gives Tesla actual financial room to take the pricing risk Model 2 requires, right as the competitive clock is running faster than it was a year ago.
Remind me of something. Quick shout out, Jim. Since I owe you one, you commented in July telling me my numbers were wrong. Said Tesla did 480,000 deliveries, up 25%. Thing is, that video went up June 27th, before Q2 earnings even came out. So you were reading the new numbers. I was still living in Q1. Good news is, we're both right now. Just took the calendar a few weeks to catch up.
So here's where that leaves us. Tesla changed how it approaches affordability, from reselling used inventory to attempting a genuinely lower-cost new vehicle. It changed its product formula, keeping software and charging and autonomy while trimming the parts that don't define the brand. And it's being forced to move faster because the price war it's fighting isn't waiting for 2027 to arrive on Tesla's schedule. None of this means Model 2 specs are locked in. Anyone telling you the exact price and release date right now is guessing, and usually guessing for clicks. What we do know, from Tesla's own moves and from the analysts who've actually walked the Austin plant floor, is the direction. Cheaper platform, fewer non-essential features, and a market that's making that shift mandatory rather than optional.
So here's the question for the comments. Do you think Model 2 lands at $25,000? Or does Tesla need to go lower to actually win this? One-word answer, $25K or lower. Let's see which one wins by the time we hit 36,777 subscribers. And thanks for watching. See you in the next one.